Hi pretty people, welcome to Abundant Tarot. I'm Beth. So for today's pick a cat reading, we are going to be seeing why did you meet the person on your mind. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Pretty simple, pretty easy. We're going to start out with oracle cards to see who this person is, just to make sure that like you're picking the right group. You know, so if we get to the oracle portion and I'm describing this person and you're like, that doesn't sound like the person I'm trying to ask about, probably not your group, I would check a different group. And then after oracle cards, we're gonna see, you know, why did you meet them with tarot. And then after that, I want to get into charms, just for extra messages and confirmation, and because charms are fun and cute and so fun. Yeah, so that's our plan for today. That's what we got going for today. So, we have 3 cats to choose from. 3 little cats. I'm very excited. Group 1 is going to be tiny little cat with wings from Pop Mart. She came with a Poppy figurine that I have. I'll show you her. This baddie. This baddie right here. She's so cute. I love her. Poppy's my favorite. And then group 2 is gonna be this little lucky cat that I got in Hawaii with my sister. And group 3 is this little guy that my friend got for me while she was on a trip to San Antonio, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, take all the time you need to see which little kitty you're feeling drawn to the most, and I'll go ahead and see you in your reading. Hi group 1, if you chose this little kitty, then this is gonna be your reading. I don't know where I can put him where you'll be able to see him, because he's so small. I didn't think about that. I hope you can see that. Actually, you can't really see him, but he's there. Okay, so, gnarly, let's go ahead and get into it. I have pre-shuffled all of the oracle cards to see who this is, so if this does not sound like the person you're asking about, or someone you know, maybe, I don't like, Spirit's like, yeah, you asked about that person, but here's someone else you should know about, then I would check a different group. Or if you don't want to hear about that person, you know, then I would also check a different group. So let's get into it. We have second house with material goods, money, values, security, work ethic, income, expenses, career, possessions, budgeting, assets, financial stability, personal finances. And then we have mental conflict, which is the 2 of Swords in reverse. Daddy's shoulders. Abundance. Miracle with the solar plexus chakra. And then negotiation with Jupiter in Libra, and speculation with Jupiter in Cancer. Actually, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, very, very stable person. Someone who probably is doing really well in their career, doing really well financially, very stable. You might rely on them. I don't know about rely on them financially. Maybe for some of you do. Just with like daddy's shoulders here, I think they're very dependable. I think they're very, like, again, like someone you can rely on, very stable, secure person in your life. They're doing really well for themselves. They're very confident. With mental conflict in reverse, this is not someone who doubts themselves often. This is going to be someone who is, at least acts, very sure of themselves, very... The phrase high and mighty came through, so maybe sometimes, maybe other people view it that way. They just see it as like, well, I'm confident, I know what I'm doing. If you think that's high and mighty, then I don't know, like, trust yourself better or something. Especially with, like, abundance here and material goods, like, I really do, and negotiation, like, this is a very logical person. This is someone who functions really well in, like, high-speed environments, fast-paced environments. Their career itself might be very, fast-paced or something that's constantly just like, go, go, go. You might know them from their career, which, you know, could be like you work with this person, or maybe they're just very notorious in their field and you're like, yeah, and I know them too. But I do think with Miracle here as well, like, this is someone who, like, things just tend to work out for them. Things tend to work out in their favor. Whether they, I want to say whether they like it or not, you know? I think sometimes they don't want to say yes to things, but they don't have a reason to say no, so they're just hoping it, you know, kind of like falls through, or something comes up to where, you know, then they'll have an excuse to get out of it. But I think the universe likes to put a lot of things in front of them, a lot of things on their plate, because it knows they can handle it. Regardless if they want to or not. So, yeah, they, like, I feel like things just tend to work out for them. A lot of opportunities fall into their lap. A lot of people probably come to this person with questions, with, you know, like, desiring clarification on something, wanting their opinion on something, like, oh, hey, like, you're really good at this, you're really smart, you're really logical, you know, you did a lot to get yourself to where you are. What advice do you have for someone like me, you know? And so I think they often are just met with, I don't know, I think they just have a lot on their plate and people really look up to them. But they get shit done. They get shit done, believe me. Sometimes I wonder if, like, their personal life might fall to the wayside on occasion, and, like, because their career takes precedence over it, or because they're have a lot of stuff to do with their job, and so they're like, well, I have to stay at work extra long today, or like, I'm in the office extra long, I have to go in early and I'm gonna leave late. Sorry, I can't come to this thing, I have a work meeting, or, you know, whatever, which can be really, I think can be really frustrating for other people in their life, because they probably don't have a very good work-life balance. They might think they do, or they might think like, oh, well, you know, for other people it's like way worse, so like, I'm fine, you know, I'm chilling. Which is not a good measure, because usually, there's always going to be worse and there's always going to be better, but that doesn't negate the fact that, like, you're still lacking, you know? Yeah, I think it can be really frustrating for the people in their life, because they want the people in their life, probably you, like, want to form more emotional connection with this person and have more, like, memories formed and do things with this person, go places, but I feel like they're just busy a lot. Like, I feel like they put in a lot of overtime, or they work outside of, you know, just their hours. That could just be like answering emails, constantly on their phone, doing work stuff, maybe. They also might show, like, their, oh god, what's it called? Love language? That one. Is probably acts of service or gift giving. It's going to be very, like, doing. Like, I am doing something for you to show that I care about you. I don't know how good they are with words. If they're not fluffy romantic with their words at all, or, like, fluffy period with their words. Like, if they have feelings for you. They're gonna look at you and be like, I have feelings for you. Go on a date with me. If they don't like you, either they'll straight up tell you like, I don't really like you, or they just won't talk to you. You know, like, they're very cut and dry. A lot of things are very black and white with them, like binary, you know, maybe this person works with computers in some way, or like technology in something. I think that would make sense. They're very, very logical. Business-minded with negotiation and speculation. Like, I feel like this person, if they don't already have their own business, I actually think they would probably thrive and succeed in starting, creating, maintaining their own business, and then, I want to say, and then, like, handing it off to someone else. Like, they might, is that what a startup is? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think that they would be good at, like, starting up a business, and then handing it off to someone else. Like, they want to do the hard part, which is getting it off the ground. Like, they like building, they like creating. Maybe they like puzzles, Sudoku's coming through, crosswords. They like figuring things out. They like maybe engineering, maybe. I don't know. I'm seeing like someone play with wires, so that could be like robotics. Maybe they were in like robotics club in high school. If that was around for them, if they had one. Or what, electrical engineering? Yeah, I think they just like figuring things out, and they like finding like pathways. I'm thinking of like mazes and stuff. Like, they like to feel smart. They like to feel smart. It's reaffirming for them. You know, they're like, yeah, I got the biggest brain in this goddamn room. I'm thinking of, there's this t-shirt that I've seen online, and it says Big Dick is back in town. But instead of, it would instead, for this person, say Big Brain is back in town, you know? Maybe Megamind is important, I don't know. Because that guy got a dome. Especially with 2 Jupiter placements here too, Jupiter in Libra and Jupiter in Cancer, like, and abundance here and miracle, like, things just work out for this person. They probably have a really good Jupiter placement. They could have Jupiter in their 2nd house. Things just grow, like Midas touch kind of thing, which I think can bite them in the ass, because that's the whole thing with like the myth with Midas is like, hey, yeah, you can turn all that to gold. You also turned your daughter to gold, by the way. Hey, you killed her. And she's dead now, and you'll never talk to her again. And isn't that cool? Ooh, no. So sometimes, again, things work out for them really well, objectively. But like, at the same time, it could be like a blessing and a curse. We do have the numbers 4 and 7, so 4, 4, 4, 7, 7, 7, and 2. We have 2 twice, actually, of 2nd house and the 2 of swords, so 2, 2, 2 could also be an important angel number here. They like to think of themselves as a very balanced person, as someone who really has it together, and they do really have it together, but I also think they're very, you know, like, logical, and they're really good at dealing with, like, you know, like, real world, like, physical things, like business and corporations and capitalism, economy, you know, whatever. But I think when it comes to, like, hey, emotions, hey, are you grieving? That's cool. Are you actually, like, allowing yourself to grieve, though? Probably not. They probably don't. They probably don't. So, I feel like when it comes to emotions, I heard does not compute. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. They might have a hard time, like, figuring out, hey, I'm having this, like, feeling in my body. What is it? What does it mean? What is it trying to tell me? Oh, it means I'm angry? Oh, okay. I think, like, figuring that stuff out. I think because feelings are not cut and dry, you know, most of the time, and if they are, congratulations, like, that's cool, that's rare, then they're gonna have a hard time, like, figuring it out. It's also not, like, a tangible thing that they can, like, break apart and then put back together to understand how it works. They probably like doing that. They probably did that a lot when they were, like, a kid, like, breaking down toys and then putting them back together, which maybe they just, like, broke some toys when they were a kid, and their parents got mad at them, but, you know, whatever. It's not important now, because now they're, you know, rolling in it. Now they're getting the bag, making bags, plural, of money. I feel like this person also lets their vacation time, like, stock up. Because they keep telling themselves, like, yeah, and I'll go on vacation. Yeah, and I'll do that eventually. I can take, like, a month off. Knowing very well there's no way in hell that they'd be able to take a month off. I think that would actually be hell for them. I think actually not being able, like, this person's probably not very good at relaxing, not very good at chilling, vibing. What I heard, like, they hate the lazy river. I love the lazy river. They would not like the lazy river. Which is a bummer. I love the lazy river. I do not like when there's little kids speeding past me, though. Girl, it's a lazy river, calm down, get in your tube. They would be the one, like, if you, okay, so, like, if you, I don't know what your relationship is with this person, but to go with the example that I'm gonna have, if you're, like, sitting in the tube, like, chilling, you have your drink, sunglasses on, you're like, yeah, lazy river time, they would be behind you, like, on the tube, like, chilling with you, but they're, like, walking, moving, like, they're going. Like, they're like, and we're gonna do laps around these people. We're gonna have laps around these people. We're fucking going. Because they don't know how to just, like, not be doing something. I feel like that's gonna be one of their hardest lessons in this life. Is learning how to chillax. I would be surprised, but, like, if this person ever, you know, like, at any point in their life had, like, smoked weed or something, I feel like if they did, they'd be like, yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, no, it's not for me. And this person likes to be in control. And so I think that, like, I don't know. Like, they probably don't get, like, rip-roaring drunk at all, ever. If they do, probably an accident, and then they're gonna, like, really regret it in the morning for a multitude of reasons. They're like, how did that happen? How did that happen? How many did I have? It was way stronger than I thought it was gonna be. I calculated how many drinks I would need to get to the point that I like it to be. And I got past it after my calculations. How did that work? Where did I go wrong? My math was off. Me and this person are opposites, which is crazy. They could have Libra placements or Cancer placements as well. Maybe Taurus with, like, the second house. Like, they could have, like, well, first off, they could have Libra in Jupiter or Cancer in Jupiter. Jupiter and Cancer, whatever, you know what I mean. Or Libra in the second house, Taurus in the second house, Jupiter in the second house. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they just don't know what to do with all their feelings. They like, also stockpile their feelings. Stockpile. Hey, that's called repression. That's called putting it over there, like, for later. Like, oh yeah, I'll deal with that later. Are you? Will you? They probably intellectualize their feelings. If they have ever gone to therapy, their therapist hated them because they did not. It's like they didn't understand the point of it. It's like they heard therapy was good for like understanding your feelings. They're like, yeah, I need to do that. That would be logical for me to do. I'll go do that. And they went and they're like, well, this is what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. So what do I do about it? That's the part I get hung up on. And the therapist is like, well, you just have to like feel it, or like whatever advice the therapist is gonna have. And then this person's like, sounds like bullshit. I don't know if this is the kind of person who's gonna believe in like tarot readings and stuff, or if they're gonna think like, no, like, girl, that person's lying to you. This person's just making things up. I like spirituality, religion, probably not their jam. Probably not their jam. Maybe religion if they grew up on it, but even then they're like, yeah, I don't know if there's a guy in the sky. I'm just gonna say that I am to make my mom happy. But other than that, I don't know. You know, they're very, like, earthly. You know, they're very 3D brained, oriented. Anything beyond that, anything that's not tangible for them, they're gonna either not believe in it, not know what to do with it, or some mysterious third option. Okay. Yeah, like with the like moon and then the sun, everything's like black or white. Like yes or no. There's no in between. In betweeny. Okay, cool. So, that's what I got excuse me, for who the person is. If this does not sound like the person you're asking about, or like someone you know and want to hear about, I would check out a different group, a different pile, for the person you're asking about, because this is not your reading. If this does sound like the person you're asking about, well, hey, how are you? We're gonna see, why did you meet them? I'm using the Horror Tarot because it's so good. And it's August 15th and I'm ready for Halloween. That's just the kind of girl I am. I made my own pumpkin spice creamer. It's kind of a puree, but you put it in your coffee and it's delicious. Okay, so why did pile 1 meet this person? Okay, we have 2. We have the moon and the 4 of Pentacles. I'll show you the cards because they're gorgeous. I love me a werewolf, bro. I am Team Jacob, you're right. Actually, I'm Team neither because they're both not great, you know, but out of the 2. Oh, okay. We have the Tower. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Can you see that? Okay. What else we got? Why did pile 1? Oh, hello. Oh, the sun! And it's a creepy clown. We have the moon and the sun. Why did pile... Oh, brother. Oh, brother. That's 4, girl. I'm not getting 4 more cards. Give me 2. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Is that a corn song? That's a corn song? Question mark? But I don't know which one. So maybe that band is important or significant in some way. Or the vegetable corn. Can I get 2 more cards, please? Why did pile 1 meet this person? Okay, I have the Page of Cups in reverse. And the Page of Swords. Oh my god, it's Billy from freaking Hocus Pocus. Okay. Ooh, Lovers on the bottom. Kind of spicy. Knight of Swords in the middle. Gargoyle. Okay. Yeah, so hey, the Lovers, maybe it's romantic. I kind of don't think it is going to be romantic for everyone, but maybe like most of you. Oh. Hey, why did you meet this person? Well, you know, for, you know, the overall improvement and betterment of your life, which may have come from things being very shaken up by this person. It's interesting, because I think this person, like, simultaneously introduced, just like the Four of Pentacles and the Tower, especially coming out right next to each other. It's like they simultaneously introduced more stability into your life. Which maybe it was more like financial stability, more security. Maybe they were like, hey, here's like a better way to manage your finances. Here's like how you set up a 401k or what's it called? Like a Roth IRA? I don't know. Something like that. Finances. Getting them good. Setting yourself up for success for the future and the present, you know? But with the Tower, I feel like emotionally... maybe no bueno. Maybe, you know, like, a little rocky. I feel like, just because they're not the most emotional person, if you were wanting them to be very emotional, if you were wanting them to be really, like, romantic towards you and like, set up dates and picnic on the beach and let's go for just, like, a romantic walk and, horseback riding, I don't know. And they're like, I don't really do all of that. I can. If, you know, you ask me to, if that's what you want, if you set up this, like, expectation for me and tell me to meet it, I will meet it. But, like, I have to know that it's an expectation in order for me to meet it. So, which might have gotten very old very quick, is what I'm hearing, because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of the thing where, like, the more you have to tell a person how you want to be treated, the less... like, I suppose, desire you feel by them, or the less known you feel by them, because eventually it feels like well, you should know by this point that, like, this is how I like things, this is how I want to be treated, these are the things that I like, you know, so where's the consistency there? I think they just got really caught up with their own life and with everything else, that's something that I think they just did not think about, or like forgot to think about. So I do think this person, like, was brought into your life to make you happy and to show you things about yourself that maybe you had been purposefully ignoring, or just, like, hadn't been in the right situation to know about yourself, you know? Like, sometimes you have to be with certain people in order for certain things to be brought up. I think this was probably one of those situations. Also to work on communication and to work on, like, speaking your feelings, because in Hocus Pocus, Billy does have his mouth sewn shut. And so he, like, can't talk. Can't, obviously, his mouth's sewn shut. Can't, you know, verbalize, like, his own feelings. He's just forced to do, you know, the witch's bidding, and he doesn't really have a choice. So, and with, like, the Knight of Swords in the middle, I do think, like, communication between the two of you has progressed and has gotten, you know, progressively better, has improved. But maybe it started to like plateau or something, or maybe, I don't know, I'm hearing like a straw that broke the camel's back, you know? Like there might have just been like one thing that was finally like, okay, I'm done. Like I can't do this anymore. It's interesting because I think there might have been a lot of ups and downs with this person, because we have the Tower and the Sun, which the Sun is like one of the happiest cards in the deck, and then the Tower is the Tower, you know, disruption, instability, stuff like that. I think you met them, like, I think the universe kind of placed this person in front of you partially because I don't know, something I'm hearing is that, like, it was planned all along, so maybe, like, there could be, like, a soul contract or something, or, you know, something to that degree, but also I think this person was placed in front of you in order for you to have a better understanding of yourself and a better understanding of the things that you require in a relationship, platonic or romantic, you know, just the things that you need to, like, kind of get through the day, like the things you need to hear, the things you need to feel, the different ways you like to be treated, the different ways you don't like to be treated. And I don't think this person was ever purposefully, like, nefarious or in any way. If anything, it might just have been, like minorly neglectful. Also to show you different ways that, like, you can be loved, or to show you that you're lovable, period, if that was something you may have been struggling with before. And that there's, like, reasons that people like you, even if maybe they're hard to, like, verbalize at times. I think it's just because this person struggles with, like, identifying their own feelings and understanding their own inner workings, and so they're gonna have a hard time with, I want to say, like, that other stuff, which, like, hey girl, that's kind of actually just proof that words are not this person's friend. Also, with the Page of Cups in reverse, children could be important in this connection, or, like, future children, showing you that, like, maybe you want kids, or maybe that, like, you really don't want kids, or I don't know, I just feel like children could be significant in some way. I'm really leaning towards, like, future children. So either this could be someone that you had children with, or, like, a child with, or will in the future. Yeah. Yeah, especially just, like, with, the mask this guy is wearing. I think just words are hard for them. And I think they're slower moving, like, in relationships. Everywhere else, I think they're fast as a bullet, but in interpersonal relationships, in dealings with people who they don't have, like, a business partnership with, I think they kind of struggle a bit, because things are not cut and dry, and because humans are inherently complicated creatures, and so they work in a very black and white way, and people are not black and white, and so they struggle with figuring out people's like intricacies. Yeah, I'm seeing the meme from It's Always Sunny. I think the character's Charlie, but he has that whole like board behind him with all of like the red string, and he's like looks insane, but he's like trying to figure something out. I don't know what, but that one, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, also maybe to show you like fears that may have been hidden or that you didn't know you had. And also ways to like combat them. And so I'm also hearing like sometimes you have to do things yourself or like problem solve yourself and then come back to this person with, you know, the remedy and have them implement that remedy. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So, let's move on to some charms. So, what are some signs or synchronicities or messages that are important for Halloween and the person that wants to get out? Holy fuck, that's so much. Okay. They have a lot to say to you, and one thing that's coming through is that, like, not to toot my own horn, it's just not, I'm delivering a message. They're glad to have me, this sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, I promise I'm not, me as an intermediary so that I can decipher their feelings and what they're trying to say for them. It's still hard. Okay. Oh, we have peach. I'm hearing, you are my peach, you are my plum, you are my earth, you are my sun. All of your fingers, all of your toes. It's the front bottoms. Is it just called peach? It might be. I don't remember. But you're really important to this person. They do care about you a lot. You're very sweet. Very, very important to this person. Oh, we have a little fortune. A new friendship will stand the test of time. Slay. Slay. I do think this is someone who, if they're, like, at the very least, wants to be in your life for a very long time, wants to be in your life for as long as you'll let them be in your life. They might mess things up occasionally, but, you know, I think they're just hoping that, like, they'll be able to fix it, do something about it. We also have this little, Grim Reaper. So maybe Halloween is important, or the month of October. Or, this also makes me think of the Death card, which makes me think of Scorpio. So they could be a Scorpio or have Scorpio placements, but I think this person, I don't think they handle change very well. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a lot of, like, fixed placements in their chart, or Capricorn, which I know Capricorn is, Cardinal, I think? Oh, I don't know, actually, I don't know. Or, like, Earth placements, or, you know, whatever. Because I feel like change is, they know change is important and they're not against doing it, But sometimes, like, it's still hard. It's still, especially if they're having to change, like, their ways of doing things. Especially if like, they've had this way of doing something for so long that, like, having to change it requires a lot of effort. Having to go outside of... That's loud, girl. Like, their pathway. They have a pathway that's been carved, and then having to go around it, like, they're going to want to, like, fall back to it. But it just takes determination. We have... I want to say it's the Lovers again. You could call it the Lovers or the Sun. Maybe it's both. But we had both of those cards show up earlier. So, again, you're very important to this person. You make them very happy. They love, 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 and rose quartz. Yeah. Your presence in their life. Hedgehog. Sometimes they know they might be kind of prickly or hard to deal with. Maybe Jan Brett is also significant. Hedgehogs always make me think of Jan Brett. They know they're prickly or hard to deal with, but I'm hearing props to you for still putting up with it regardless. We also have a little, like, Game Boy and a television. I'm hearing analog. They might like analog ways of doing things, so, like, I guess, like, a analog clock or, like, watch, or, you know, like, older forms of technology they might be a fan of or might be intrigued by. Maybe even, like, the way that they work. Yeah, but we've got these two. So maybe they are, like, a gamer, or maybe there's, like, a specific show that the two of you guys like to watch together, or that they're, like, waiting to watch with you. Also, it's making me think of BMO. So maybe Adventure Time is also important. Yeah, they think you're, like, a rare find and really sweet. Like, sweet is just what keeps coming up. Now I'm hearing the Tyler song, Tyler the Creator, like, Sugar on my tongue. What are you getting up to? Don't tell me, it's none of my business. We also have a ladder, which like makes me think of, like, ladder to success, climbing the corporate ladder, career. I think career and building that up is really important to them. We've also got a little snaky poo, which also makes me think of, like, change and transformation, like rebirth, you know, like shedding skin. I think they're realizing that they need to change, like, they need to go through some sort of evolution in order for things to, like, really work out here. Yeah. We also have a little monkey. Maybe, like, if you guys watch anime, I feel silly every time I mention my anime shows. I'm sorry, I don't know why. But if you guys watch anime, because it makes me think of Jujutsu Kaisen, specifically Suguru Geto, because he calls all the non-sorcerer people monkeys, so makes me think of that. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this person kind of does at times think that they are better than people, or they're like, you know what, I'm actually really smart. I'm gonna talk my shit, and sometimes think less of other people, you know? We also have this little penguin with gifts on it. Yeah, I think this person really is big on, like, gift giving, or wants to get better at gift giving, if that's a love language of yours and they've been kind of shoddy at it previously. Shoddy, I know. mind. And then we have a little birdie in a wreath. So they probably have some sort of like message for you, I want to say, because where am I going? Because birds make me think of communication. They're trying to grow and work on their communication skills. Yeah. Or maybe they have like a specific playlist that makes them think of you, or songs that make them think of you. Songs that they like to put on that remind them of you. They care about you a lot. This kind of turned more into like, what do they want to say to you? Rather than, why did you meet them? But like, whatever comes through, man. I'm just the messenger. Cool, I think that's all I have for you. So, gnarly, yeah. Thanks for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading, if you enjoy how I read. That would be very cool. I would appreciate it very much. You can also check out my Patreon down below if you would like to, where I post exclusive pick-a-card readings, tarot spreads that I make, there's tarot education content, voting power for picking the next YouTube topic for the videos I make here, you know, along with like a bunch of other stuff if you want to check it out. It's good, it's cheap, it's cool. You can also check out my tarot and oracle deck that I made. We actually used one of the cards. This is from my oracle deck, the Childlike Oracle. It's cool. There's also the Bone Dead Tarot you can check out. I made it. You can book a personal reading with me down below as well if you're feeling called to. And you can check out my TikTok and Instagram at Bone Dead Tarot. So, those are all my plugs. Thanks for sitting and listening. And yeah, hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye. Hi, pile 2, if you chose the little lucky cat, then this is going to be your reading. I'm going to put that bad boy right there. So let's get into it. We're going to see who the person is that you're asking about. So if this does not sound like the person you're asking about, or like someone you know and want to hear about, I would check a different group. Because that means this is probably not your reading. So, first card, we have South Node with Karmic Past. Comfort Zone, Mastery, Old Habits, The Past, Unfinished Business, Current Gifts / Talents, Natural Strengths, Limitations, and Potential Stagnancy. And then we have the Three of Wands with Partnership and Alliances. I'm pretty sure that's the Three of Wands. I'm gonna double check though. And then we have Coloring Books. Forgive, Complacency, Discovery with Mercury in Sagittarius. Hello, and Enterprise with Jupiter in Aries. I'm actually gonna switch those. So, let me double check, because I'm pretty sure yeah, it's Wands. Great. I love being right. I'm so good at that. Okay, so, hey, this is definitely someone that things have probably not been super easy with. Not really been smooth sailing with, like, South Node here, and Forgive, and Complacency. You know, so, I feel like this is someone who, with coloring books, has a hard time with compromise, has a hard time doing things in a way that's not their way. I was gonna say they probably really like rules, but I think they like the rules that benefit them, and then they don't like the rules that don't benefit them, of course. And so they might like pick and choose which ones apply to them and which ones don't, which I think can get really, really frustrating. I feel like they're kind of back and forth, kind of like flip-floppy, like they change their mind a lot, or they go back on their word a lot, maybe. Yeah. I also think they might, like, depend with partnerships and alliances. They might, there's a lot here about, like, exploration with, like, enterprise, discovery, and, like, the Three of Wands. So they might be someone who could like physically live at a distance from you. You could have met them while on like a vacation or while traveling, or like online, you know, perhaps. I just feel like, I don't know, the vibes are that there's a lot of like frustration with this person, or like annoyance, and they might, with forgive here, like they might be like wanting you to forgive them for something, or they might have like done something that would require forgiveness. Yeah, with the Three of, I don't know. It's funny that it's called partnerships and alliances, which isn't usually what I associate with the Three of Wands. I feel like they might depend a lot on, again, other people to do things for them. Like they like that could be delegation of tasks, or just maybe they need like assistance with things, or maybe they think or tell people like, oh, you do this so much better than me, can you do it for me? Something like that. What's that called? Like weaponized incompetence. I feel like there's just a lot of frustration with this person, because it's like they can't do things themselves. I'm gonna check out the story for this complacency card, because I thought I knew it, but alas, my brain forgore. Meow meow. Okay, pause. At the end of her life, Flo reflects on the dream she shared with her late husband to move to Florida. They never went. After Flo dies, her daughter discovers that her parents had enough money to move there. As she plans what to do with her inheritance, she wonders why her parents never lived their dream. This is a warning not to give up. Beware of coasting along in a situation that is not what you really want. You'll never be fulfilled by the unmet dreams of others. Key ideas: finding self-nourishment, leaving dreams unrealized, feeling depleted, time for deep rest, lack of motivation, and holding back. Yeah, like, I don't know. They might have kind of like a self-defeating attitude at times, but then also it's like self-defeating attitude at times, but then I also want to say somehow like might think or feel like they're better than some people, which can also be frustrating, because like if you think that you're better than some people but then you refuse to do things for yourself, then like how are you proving that you're better than some people if you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to prove to yourself that you can do something, you know, like, they're kind of confusing. I'm gonna say, their energy's kind of confusing and, like, flip-floppy and all over the place. I don't think that they're necessarily a reliable person. With Enterprise, it's actually making me think, like, they might tend to think of themselves more often than, like, other people. Which is funny, because, like, if they depend on other people for a lot of things, then, like, there's not going to be an equal give and receive, you know? Because if they think about themselves a lot and they're like, hey, can you do this for me? But then if you ask them, like, hey, can you do this for me? And they're like, no, sorry, I don't have the time, or, like, I just don't have the energy, like, I'm busy, you know, I, like, already had something planned for that day. Oh, hey, Cleo. How are you, girl? Don't flash, people. Excuse me. We can hang out in my lap, but I need to see my cards. Yeah, you might have known this person for some time with, like, the South Node here. And throughout this time, I don't know if they've actually improved or if maybe they've only gotten worse. Coloring books themselves could be, like, significant with this person, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they play by their own rules, but then they don't tell what other people, like, they don't tell other people what those rules are, and then they get mad when those rules aren't being met. And it's like, well, I didn't know, like, how am I supposed to know that I'm doing something wrong, or I'm doing something in a way that you don't like if you don't tell me? It's interesting. Their energy is real weird. It's hard to read. I think they struggle with, like, not being right. And so they might go back on, like, their own word, or, like, whatever they said in the past to try and just be right. You know, like, if they said, like, I don't know. Oh, I think pumpkins actually aren't a squash. Pumpkins are not a squash. You know, like, why would they be a squash? They're a pumpkin. It's a completely different thing. It's, like, its own thing. And then you know, you Google it and you come back to them and you're like, no, like, it's a squash. And they're like, yeah, like, that's what I said. Like, I was just saying that, like, they're, like, under, like, a different sub-branch of, like, squash, you know? Like, they're, you know, it's like, no, like, that's not what you said. Like, are you okay? Are you good? It's interesting. It's interesting. You know? Maybe they, I don't know, with, like, this dead plant here, maybe they have, like, a brown thumb. Maybe they're not really good at taking care of plants. This could also be someone who, like, you had plans to do something, like, on your own or, like, with someone else, and then they're like, oh, but, like, I need your help, like, I really need you to do this, you know, and they made it seem like it was, like, a very, like, urgent, very necessary thing, and you're like, okay, well, okay, alright, I guess, you know, like, I'll be, like, a good friend or whatever, and I'll cancel this so I can help you out, and then you get there, and it's, like, something that got done in, like, 5 minutes, didn't need to be done immediately, or something like that, you know, and it's like, okay, well, I canceled this thing that I had planned for a few months because you made it seem like this was an emergency and you needed my help with something. You could have done this by yourself in the same amount of time, actually. So That was for nothing. Thank you so much. I don't know, dude. Maybe they have like really long hair. Just I'm noticing like the braids here. Yeah, I just keep hearing the phrase like weaponized incompetence. Also, the ocean could be significant in some way, because they talked about Florida in the complacency card, which surrounded by ocean on 3 sides. And then forgive and discovery both also have big old bodies of water. Maybe they have like an ocean themed name. That's kind of coming through. Ooh. I mean, okay. So this is a deck based on like childhood imagery and themes and stuff, but I want to say, I don't know, just like with the crayons, it was like maybe they're kind of childish. Perhaps. Or maybe they like pitch fits or like throw tantrums the way that a child does. But they're like a full grown adult, you know? It's like, hey, you should know how to, hey, that's crazy for a fully grown individual to be doing. They also might like, I don't know, like pity themselves a lot, or like try and make others have pity for them. Yeah. Is there anything else about this person? Okay, so we can't see the eyes of this person, and this person's eyes are closed. So I feel like, yeah, I kind of think that they have their own perception, which everyone does, like, duh, that's how life works, but they have their own perception of what's going on around them. But even if something is like right in front of them as a blatant truth, they're not going to want to accept it as a truth if it goes against like a personal belief that they hold. Like that this is someone who would choose to remain like blissfully ignorant and naive and be wrong rather than be like informed on something. You know, there are things that they choose not to see or acknowledge to like feed or like not feed but like strengthen their own personal beliefs and perceptions, or to like verify them or validate them. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting for who this person is. If this does not sound like the person you're asking about or a person you know and want to hear about, I would check out a different group. I would check out a different pile. Because this is really specific. So let's move on to the tarot to see why you met this person. So we're going to be using the Horror Tarot because I love it. Hello, Cleo. I wish you guys could see her, but she's a lab cat. So, oh, not anymore, she's not. She left. Okay. So why did group 2 meet this person? This really interesting person. Why did group 2 meet this person? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. Hear me out. Okay, what else? Queen of Wands. A baddie. Of course, it's the Queen of Wands. What else? She has great hair. Queen of Pentacles. A lot of court cards. So why did group 2 meet this person? 9 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Can I get 3 more? What? Okay. Knight of Pentacles. And then the 8 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Cups with the 3 of Swords on the bottom. 2 of Cups in the middle. Aw. Okay, great. Cool. So, like, half of these are court cards. I think to introduce you to other people. I think to introduce you to other people. And to bring, like, just to kind of be a bridge to bring those other people into your life and to show you, like, other awesome people who are going to be really uplifting, really dependable, really comforting, affirming, that can help you build your confidence, help you. The Queen of Pentacles always makes me think of, like, cooking and being a good cook. It's just, like, a personal association I have with that card. So maybe also to, like, give you some good recipes maybe, or introduce you to someone who's a really good cook and, like, can give you some good recipes, or, like, introduce you to your new favorite restaurant, or, you know, something like that, or, like, makes really good food. Also, I, like, hey, we have the 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, and 3 of Swords here, which, are they pleasant cards? No. No, they're not. They're not pleasant cards. I think to show you, like, things that you don't have to put up with. That, like, yeah, patience is a virtue, but to some degree, there is such thing as, like, too much patience and, like, being too forgiving with people to the point where it turns you into somewhat of, like, a pushover, I think. And so I think this person might have been introduced to show you all of these new people that you'll meet and who are awesome and amazing and fantastic individuals, but also to show you, like, how and where to stand up for yourself, and that, like, being disappointed in a person and a friend is extremely okay and should be talked about and brought up with that person so that they know what they're doing wrong, so they know not to do it again. They can learn, grow, evolve, that kind of thing. But that also some people in this world aren't gonna be into that. Aren't gonna be into this whole, you know, self-improvement journey thing that people are, like, us are into, you know, and aren't going to see, like, oh, like, they think their shit don't stink, you know, is something I heard, like, Yeah. And of course, like, I think there's gonna be, with, like, the Five of Cups, like, there are 2 cups upright, and we did have the 2 of Cups here, too, which is really cool. So, like, even if someone is, like, annoying, or, like, frustrating to deal with, or difficult, people aren't all bad. People are very complex. People have, you know, their own intricacies and are very unique and, like, can have good qualities and can sometimes be, like, fun to hang out with when they're not being difficult. So also maybe just to show you that, like, there's 2 sides to the coin. Like, of course there's difficulty, but then also sometimes it is fun. You just have to learn and figure out, like, when enough is enough and when, like, are you having enough fun with this person to outweigh everything else, you know? Just, like, you're kind of being forced to, I get, like, I want to say think critically, but I feel like there's a different way to say that that's going to be more accurate. Like, forced to reconcile with the fact that sometimes it's better to, like, I suppose protect your peace, or, like, let people go. My ring. Or to just drop them completely, as I just dropped my ring. Especially if they're hurting you, especially if they're not being fair to you, especially, like, and ignoring the fact that they are doing all of that, covering it up, or, like, pretending like that didn't happen, or coming up with excuse after excuse and never apologizing, or if they do apologize, then they just do it again. So it's like, what was that even for? Obligation, I suppose, but, you know, that's not really doing anything, you're just saying words. Yeah, I keep being drawn to, like, the 9 of Swords. Maybe to show you where your mental breaking point is with people. Because all of the swords and daggers are very different, you know? So it's like, it kept building up, and it was just maybe, like, one thing after another, and then you realize, like, okay, I'm done with this. I am over it. We're through this, over and out. Yeah. Also, the person in this card is a vampire, so maybe also to show you, like, I want to say this person's true form, like, especially if you became close with this person, you might have seen them unravel bit by bit until they, you know, like, truly revealed themselves to you and weren't trying to hide who or what they were anymore. And then you go, oh, okay, I'm piecing the fuck out of here. Farewell, because it's crazy that you're okay with being that way, and you think it's acceptable enough to do that in front of me. Or you think that I'm gonna be okay with that. Absolutely not. And to show you maybe that, like, with the way that the Knight of Pentacles is very constrained and has like a muzzle to show you that, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. You're blessed, first and foremost. Because the sneeze went away, there you go. It's your blessing, not mine. But that you're, like, being constrained by social convention. At some point, you get so sick and tired of something that you say, fuck it, and give up on social convention. And learning where that line is and when it needs to be drawn and how to further, like, strengthen that boundary so you can identify it sooner. Also, maybe just to, like, show you the type of people to avoid in the future, you know? Like, once you deal with someone who's kind of poopy, you might come across someone in the future who's kind of similar, and you might be able to immediately pick up on different, like, mannerisms or words chosen by them when they speak, or just energy that's similar to the poopy person from the past, and you can go, I know what you are. You're poopy too. And then you can completely avoid the whole mess that you had to deal with before. But I think the main thing is introducing you to the other really good people, maybe even helping you make, like, connections, or with the King and Queen of Pentacles coming out, it's making me think of, like, a couple. So they could have introduced you to a couple that you really like, or introduced you to someone and then you guys became a couple, or maybe you will become a couple with someone. Especially with the Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands. Especially if they introduced you to someone who is really good at speaking their mind. The Queen of Wands is not gonna hold back. She'll be nice until she's not nice anymore. You know, until it's like, okay, well, you have run out of your cache of kindness from me. You have run out of it, and so now I get to be a little mean. And her just being mean is like telling that person what they need to hear, you know? Which that person's gonna think it's mean, but everyone else is gonna go, well, that's fair. And then by introducing you to someone like that, like helping you find those qualities within yourself. Yeah. Or maybe even introducing you to like a new hobby or profession or workplace environment maybe that you really like, really enjoy, really thrive in. Maybe they helped you like build your skill in some area. I'm hearing, but at what cost? You know the cost. You're very familiar with the cost. Okay. I don't know, I feel like this person can probably be kind of mean sometimes. I'm hearing, like, in a catty way, I'm hearing. Because, like, with the heart here, the phrase I heard was, like, and they'll serve your own heart to you on a silver platter, which, like, hey diva, that's a lot. That's a bit much, you know? Like, I feel like that's not ideal, to say the least. Yeah, but then all of these daggers look like they would belong to the same person because they all would have the same or similar, like, handle style. Girl, can you focus, queen? Yeah. Okay. So, it's charm time. So what are some messages, signs, synchronicities, extra goodies for pile 2 and the person that they're asking about, the person receiving and asking about? I actually think that's good. Okay. We have a message. A new friendship will stand the test of time. Yeah, they probably introduced you to new people who are gonna become like lifelong friends. Ooh, we have this little like knight helmet. Meow 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 meow. It's making me think of Undertale. Holy crap. Undyne. I love being weird kid. A kid. I'm fully turning 25 this year. Hey gang. Well, whatever. Anyway, yeah, this makes me think of like standing up for yourself and becoming more defensive of yourself. Like allowing yourself to wear armor around certain people and not put up with BS. Or like getting thicker skin, not letting like any of their insults or quips or, you know, whatever get to you. We have a little sunflower by Harry Styles, or who's that by? I think it's someone featuring Steve Lacy. No, sorry, this is gonna bother me. I have to Google. Vampire Weekend! Okay, great. I thought it was Vampire Weekend. I was like, no. Lo and behold. Yeah, yeah, I think this is the kind of person who really, I want to say, like, how do I, like, I know it's a, let me finish a sentence. This is the kind of person who's only going to focus on positive things and blatantly ignore negative things, negative facts, and allow themselves to be blissfully unaware of things, choose to be blissfully unaware, which can do more harm than good. And so interacting with this person might have shown you the type of harm that can do and the type of people that, like, that way of thinking can produce. We do also, though, have this, like, tree of life. Maybe they have, like, a specific car that they drive. Maybe it's, like, a bug or a Beetle, Volkswagen, or something like that. But with the tree of life, I do think they did introduce you to, again, some... Maybe they're part of, like, your soul family or something. Or just people who are going to prove to be, like, found family or something like that. We also have a little witch's hat. And this owl with a witch hat. And they're both purple. Cutie. So maybe, like, spirituality or, like, witchiness or Halloween could be significant to this person, or, like, your relationship with this person. Or, if you do witchy spooky things and you maybe did a little working to dunk some clarity on this person, I want to say that it worked. But I also want to say sometimes they do see things about themselves and they still choose not to do anything about it. They choose to turn the other way. So they're aware, but they will ignore it. So, yeah. Like, it worked, but they're also just like that. We have a little fish. Cutie. Finding Nemo could be important, or like goldfish are coming through. What do goldfish represent? I know there's like memory of a goldfish. Maybe this person claims to have bad memory. Meanwhile, that's a lie. Goldfish spiritual meaning: prosperity, transformation, and good fortune. Harmony, adaptability, and positive energy, period. In some traditions, they're associated with luck and abundance. Sick. Maybe after, if you decide to part ways with this person, you might find that, like, things start working out for you more. I want to say, and only take this if it's something you've already had in your mind, or something, like a message you've already received. Let this be a confirmation. If it's not something you've had in your mind already, don't worry about it. But if you've like have thought already that like maybe this person could be sucking like opportunities or like abundance or positivity out of your life and like bringing it into their life, I would not be surprised if that was the case, because I think you'll find once this person is out of your life, if they're not already, you like are going to be awash with luck, abundance, opportunities, good fortune, pleasantries, good stuff like that. Like it's gonna hit you like a freight train. It's gonna come out of nowhere. It's gonna also be coming from everywhere, like 360 everywhere. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna be drowning in it, and I think that's what you deserve in the best of ways. It was backed up or something, and now that you're removing the thing that's been like blocking it, it's like really hitting you. We also do have this like moon goddess pendant charm. Maybe you could be like working with the moon in some way to bring that good stuff into you now that this person's out of your life. Or like some sort of like moon goddess could be important, or a very like feminine deity, or just like feminine energy in general. And then we also have this little cog gear. Hey, is there a difference? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think things are gonna start working out for you. It's like things like can start moving again. Like it was like stuck before, but now things are gonna free up and start moving, and it'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Yay. Okay, cool. Well, pile 2, I think that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much for joining me for your reading. I hope this resonated. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for trusting me to read for you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this reading. If you enjoy how I read, feel free to join the Boned Club. We have fun here. We have a blast. It's a party every day. You can also check out my Patreon if you want to. I do a lot of different stuff on there. Exclusive pick-a-card readings, like tarot education content. You can have voting power for YouTube readings and the readings I do there. Tarot spreads that I make, along with some other stuff. Yeah, you can also check out my tarot and oracle deck. I used my oracle deck in... That's not your card. Is this your card? I used my oracle deck in this one. If you liked it, you can check it out. That'll be linked down below. My tarot deck will be linked down below as well. The Undead Tarot. Yeah, you can also check out some personal readings if you feel called to do that. I have like a wide variety of them, starting from like $7 for like a little like mailed 1-card reading to some more expensive ones that are, it's like a 12-month reading in depth It's really long. It's a big boy reading. And then, yeah, you can also check out my TikTok and Instagram where I post more tarot things at Bone Dead Tarot. So, thanks again for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. And have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye. High pile 3 if you chose this little baddie right here. And her tail moves. Then this is gonna be your reading. I'm gonna put him right there. Yeah, okay. So, cool. We're gonna start with who this person is. If this, with some oracle cards, if this does not sound like the person you're asking about, I would check a different group. I would check a different pile. And if this sounds like someone you know but that you're not asking about and you don't want to hear them, also check a different group, check a different pile. So, cutie, let's go ahead and get into it. So, first we have Taurus with the Connoisseur. Comfort, luxury, reliable, stubborn, possessive, hard work, life's pleasures, serenity, productive, determination, stability, ruler of the second house. Sorry, there's like some ash on here, so maybe the name Ash could be significant. Suffering in silence. Nine of Swords. And then new kid. It gets better. Service. A convention with Venus and Capricorn. My Venus is in Capricorn. And drama with Mercury in Leo. I'm gonna switch those. Okay. Okay. So. I kind of dig their energy. I do think they are a rather nervous person. I don't think they come across that way. With like Taurus and Mercury and Leo, I actually think they're pretty sociable. I think they're pretty confident, outgoing. I heard they talk their shit. So they, yeah, talk their shit. I don't know. I think they're also pretty truthful. And if they don't want to talk truth on something, then they're either going to redirect the question or conversation, or go like, I don't really want to talk about that right now. Or just like find some way around it. But they're not going to blatantly lie to you. Partially because like, they might, for some of you, they might think or believe they're bad at lying, or they just are against that morally, probably more that one, and so they don't want to like do that. They don't want to do that. But with new kid here, new kid does talk about like the nerves and anxiety of being a new kid, and how like everyone's eyes are on you, and everyone's like, ooh, new person, fresh plaything, let's see if we like them or not. How that's scary. How that's scary. If you've ever moved schools or you know, states, whatever, places, if you don't live in the States, in like elementary school, you know, mine was in the Air Force, so happened quite a few times. It can be really daunting. Because then you're getting to know like a ton of new different people, and it's a new environment, and it's overwhelming. So I feel like this person, I think they can get pretty overwhelmed in crowds. I think they prefer like smaller crowds where they can get to know people more like intimately. And because I think sometimes they don't know what to do with themselves, and so sometimes they might just feel a little bit awkward. It's making me think of Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. I don't think they come across as awkward though. Maybe a little stiff at times, or a little serious, but still very like confident, like they know themselves, they know who they are. what's interesting, despite having convention here, I think they're a little... I'll say alternative. Maybe they dress more alternatively, or they do things in a different way than people. I think their values are conventional in the sense where, like, excuse me, like, I think they value, there we go, community and, like, people, relationships. Maybe they believe in more, like, conventional, I don't want to say straight-laced relationship, prefer to partake in conventional straight-laced relationships. Like, this person's probably monogamous, or isn't into, like, hookup culture, at least if they're not monogamous. I think they enjoy doing things by the book in that sense, but in other ways I think they're very unconventional because we have drama here. Like, I think they like to do things big, but not necessarily loudly. It's interesting. Like, other people would think it's loud, but I don't think this person would think it's loud. Like, this person would just be like, and I'm being myself. Like, if I was being loud, I would be obnoxious. I'm not being loud, I'm just being myself. Whereas other people who are more traditional would look at this person and go, whoa, that's a lot. So maybe, okay, maybe, like, they could have, like, a lot of piercings, or, tattoos, or maybe they're bald, but, like, in a unconventional way. I'm seeing, like, a mohawk specifically. like bald and then mohawk. Or if this person is, like, feminine presenting, then maybe they have, like, a shaved head, which is more alternative, you know, or less conventional, I suppose. Something like that, where, like, something about how they present themselves is just them being, like, true to themselves and being very authentic, but then other people are like, be quiet, put it away. And this person, I think, would look at that and go, become more interesting. Is this your most authentic form of expression, or is there something you're repressing? If it's your most authentic form of expression, then that's awesome, great, leave mine alone. It gets better. I think they're very positive-minded, but not in a way that completely, like, negates or ignores any of the hardships in the world. Like it fully acknowledges it, but they are hopeful. Hopecore. They probably, like, if they're on TikTok, maybe they see a lot of, like, hopecore stuff, and they're like, and that's my shit. Like, yeah, it does get better. There's this guy on TikTok who has, it's like the good news or something like that, where he covers all of the good things that are happening in the world, since mainstream media likes to focus on bad things and, like, fearmonger and everything. He focuses on the good stuff going on. So they probably would, like, be into his stuff, while simultaneously still consuming the other media, because awareness is power, education is power. I think I want to say, I don't know, with, like, the imagery on this card, I think they probably have, like, a really good or strong connection to their, like, spirit guides or to their spirituality, or at the very, very, very least, they're very tapped into their intuition, and they know how to make good decisions with it is something that's coming through. Sometimes, like, they know how to make good decisions with it, but sometimes they might still go against that and be like, but this is what I want, but I want to do this. Because, yeah, everybody's human. Everybody's human. They're allowed to. They might have really cool hair. Just because this person has long hair. And crazy mane. Or something about their hair could be significant. Again, like maybe it's like colored or something, or... Yeah. I do think this is a very giving person. They're very kind. They like to give their time and energy to the people they love. They like to be helpful. I think they like to cook or like bake things for people, or give things they cook or bake like as treats. I feel like food as a love language, you know, is important for them. Or maybe they like grow stuff and like maybe they like have a garden and they grow stuff and they give that to people. Even flowers like that. I think this person probably likes flowers, really likes flowers, loves flowers. Nature freak. I think they just like nature. It helps them feel like connected, and they need to touch grass sometimes, and so they do. It helps them like reconnect with themselves, and helps them remember like, hey, we're just animals. I know I'm hearing zoochosis because there's like a theory that that humans are going through zoochosis, and that's why it's a whole thing. I won't get into it. If you want to look into it more, you totally can. It's really interesting. But this person probably subscribes to that idea a little bit. They're also my elbow. With Taurus here, I do think they like the luxuries in life. I do think they like comfort, like peak comfort. Like they are like super into. I'm hearing Glamorous by Fergie, First Class Up in the Sky. Maybe they fly first class when they can. Cool if they're balling like that. Or that's like a goal of theirs to be able to afford to do that more often, maybe. They like food. They like food. They want to be able to eat the good food on the plane. It's still airplane food, but it's really good. They like food. They like I know that's so Taurus. That's not even what I'm trying to say. That's not even, because Taurus is so much more complex than that. There's food. No, there's so much more. But they like the like luxuries in life. They like savory things. Like they want to be able to like savor things and like metaphorically like bite into things, you know? Like they're gonna love like really plush couches, really plush beds, really, really soft blankets, really soft clothes. Like they're very materialistic in a sense where they love comfort items. Not materialistic in a sense where they're like, and I want a $10,000 handbag. But more so like, if I have $10,000, I'm gonna get something really nice for myself that I'm gonna cherish forever. I'm gonna get a really nice piece of furniture that can be a hand-me-down to my kids and their kids and their kids, you know? Like, stuff like that. Stuff like that. I will say, with this suffering and silence card, it doesn't look like they're suffering. Oh, my tummy hurts because I'm hungry. It doesn't look like they're suffering. I think if anything, they've probably been through like a dark night of the soul, you know? And come out the other end like way better, like way improved, way more self-aware. with a way better connection with themselves, understanding of themselves. Excuse me. All that good stuff. Maybe they have like a really, or had like a really strong connection with like a grandmother figure, like an elderly female figure. If they never had the opportunity or chance to do that, then maybe that kind of figure or you know, person is a guide for them spiritually. This is someone who has a lot of strong political / social beliefs. They have a lot of opinions. And you can talk to them about it. You can, they're open to like discussion and like, I'm seeing that like Booth meme that's like something, change my mind. But they would actually be open to it. They don't want to just argue with you, because arguing is pointless if there's no willingness to actually hear the other person out and be understanding, you know. Hi Cleo, I love you. She's incredible. Yeah. My tummy, bro. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, maybe they like to read, or maybe they really liked being a student, or really like school, or they're constantly learning with this book here. Or they're writing, maybe they're a writer, or they like writing, or poetry. I want to say they have a way with words, or they at least try to. Human relationships are very important to them. And non-human ones, but like specifically human ones. Maybe they have a lot of like Aquarius placements too, or like strong 11th house placements. That would make sense. Yeah, they like to do things for people and be there for people. Maybe they have really nice hands, just because there's these hands and like they're holding hands here. I don't know, I'm just very aware of like hands. So maybe they have really nice hands. They work with their hands. Maybe they have like tattoos on their hands. Or maybe they get like really killer nails. Wish that could be me. I get sensory overload with that shit. Like I would love like the long nails, but it drives me crazy. It makes me feel like claustrophobic. It's weird. Anyway, also I think they appreciate art. If they're not like an artist themselves, then they're a big ol' art appreciator. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to have like their own version of an art collection one day. It's not necessarily like, and this is my Matisse that was $50,000 and I got it at an auction. It's more of like, here's the art my friends made and I went to this fair and I found these different artists and I'm collecting their things, and I think they would support like small artists that are alive so they can support that alive artist rather than just putting money in like other people's pockets who like didn't make the art, you know? Yeah. Okay. So, tummy, what the hell? Okay. Sorry. Let's get into the tarot. See why you met this person. Ow. I wouldn't be surprised if they are an artist. Baddie! Sorry, it's the Queen of Swords. Everyone this artist makes is hot, so even if they're ugly hot. Abigail Larson. See, they like to support artists. They're telling me to tell you to do it. Okay. So, why did Bumpy need this person? Hey, that's so many. Wow, that was 5. I'm not gonna take 5 at once. Thank you. 7 of Swords. Meow. The High Priestess. Ooh. Another baddie alert. Baddie with her imp. That's 3. I guess I'll take it. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. Haha, Queen of Swords, that's funny. And the Page of Cups. Can I get 2 more, please? Peas and carrots, pinks and thank you. The Lovers. Sensual. I get 1 more. Hanged Man in reverse. Page of Pentacles on the bottom. Interesting. What is this? Anastasia. This makes me think of Anastasia, the animated film, with all these little things. Oh, and the 3 cups. Cute. Okay. Why did you meet this person? 'Cause they're really cool. 'Cause they're really cool. Because they're really cool, and they think you're cool too, and you get to be cool together. Kinda, actually. Because I think, like, something about the way that they see the world, about the way that they experience the world is, I want to say, way different, in some ways than the way you see or experience it. And so getting to see the world through this person's eyes, I think is something that's really, really special. And I'm thinking of the song Durban. I love, this is actually one of my favorite songs, Durban Skies by Bastille. Beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. It's all about him going back to, as far as I know, as far as I can interpret from just listening to it. I haven't like actually Googled, what is this song about? But I like to think it's about him going back to the town where his parents grew up and like met and everything, and seeing it like through their eyes, and it's really sweet and like don't even know how to describe that feeling. Beautiful, beautiful. So I think getting to see the world through this person's eyes, because they're so idealistic, and sometimes I think to you they might be kind of naive with this like Page of Cups energy here and Page of Pentacles. Like with the High Priestess, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 they are not naive. They know their shit. They what song is that? Let me talk my shit. Google. I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyway, maybe they really like music, but like they're not, most of the time they are not a naive individual, but I think just because they're so idealistic and see the world through a beautiful, beautiful lens. It's not necessarily rose colored, but it is the color, it is their favorite color. It is their favorite color. So maybe it's rose color, I don't know. Yeah. They're not naive though. They're very intelligent. Queen of Swords, they're very intelligent. They have a very, very sharp mind. And they're very intuitive, and they're very strong. I think with the Seven of Swords, I think a lot of the time, they might think or believe that people don't really see them for who they truly are. They don't really see them in all of their depth. The way that they think you do, or that you're capable of doing, that you're, you know, like, able to do. I think a lot of the time people see this person as really young and naive, and as someone who's really idealistic, or I also want to say spoiled and selfish, which is interesting. Or maybe that's like a projection or like a fear of theirs, that other people see them that way. And so that would actually explain why they're really, really giving, so that they combat the fuck out of that. That actually makes sense. Okay. Yeah, like the Seven of Swords, like there's a fear of being misunderstood. Yeah, I'm hearing the Lana Del Rey song. I don't think it's hers originally, but it's how I know it. Don't let me be misunderstood. There's a fear of being misunderstood, which I think is why they're such an avid communicator, or makes such a effort to communicate and to be understood, because they don't want to be misunderstood. They want people to know them and talk to them and hear them out and understand them and all of their depth and all of their different shades and hues and varieties. You know, this is probably someone who I think the song Ashley by Halsey, I think it's in that one where she's like, is it so strange if I always want to change? I think it's that one. Like, I think this person likes to grow and evolve and change all of the time, and maybe they change their look up, or they're just changing with like the season, or they learn things and it changes their outlook. They like to grow. They like to do more. It's making me feel kind of sad. I don't know why. I think it's just because this feels so like teenager, like emo kid, like no one understands me. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were that way in like middle school or high school even, you know. But it's something that's like stuck with them, you know, the fear that like they think they believe themselves, like everybody should think this about themselves. They think they're so interesting and varied and cool. They think they're cool. It took them a while for them to believe that, you know? And so they just want other people to know themselves the way that they know themselves, which feels like an impossible standard. But they just want to feel seen and heard and understand. So why did they... Okay, diva. So then why did my author meet this person? I think so that they can understand you, so that you can feel seen and heard and understood. They can show you new ways of thinking. They want to introduce more like variety into your life, or like find ways to make your life more fun for you, or like more interesting. Not that your life is boring and not fun, but like if your life is already fun and interesting, then like why wouldn't we want it to also step up a level again, you know, and be like extra fun and extra interesting, you know? Like they want to feel important to someone. I keep talking about them, but why did Pile 3 meet this person? Maybe if you have both felt incredibly misunderstood by people in your life. Maybe you met this person so that you could have each other to understand each other to the depth that you want to be understood. I think that's it. I think that's like the main reason. I think like just to have a bond with them, to have like community with them, to be important to each other with like the lovers and like Page of Cups here. And the Three of Cups. Oh, and then the Ace of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. So that you guys can just like have each other. And also with the Page of Cups, so that you both can be like it's making me think of like inner child stuff, so that you can like, I want to say, unlock your inner child with each other, or dive deeper into that, or just be very like playful with one another, open up with each other in that way, that kind of thing. Also, so you can have someone to rely on with the King of Pentacles. And so you can have someone who is a constant in your life. Despite how much they're changing, they're still gonna be a constant in your life. And you know they'll always be there. They'll always show up for you. Because they want to always be there for you and make sure you know that they'll always be there for you, you know? Yeah. Like, it feels really intimate. Like one of the big purposes of why you met each other is so that you can know each other on such like an intimate level. And all of you can be seen and all of you can be loved. Because this is not the kind of person who's going to shy away from like the dark, murky bits of you. If anything, they're gonna be fascinated by them and curious about it and want to know more. And so I think it's like so that you can feel loved in all of your many forms and in all of the ways that you thought like if you have ever told yourself, okay, well, if I'm like I'm never showing this to anyone, I'm never telling anyone this, this is part of myself that I'm going to hide away and lock away, keep under lock and key, just pray never comes up in any of my like relationships. If you know, like if you've ever told yourself anything like that, this person's not gonna want to hear it and they're gonna want to know everything, and they're not gonna judge you for anything. They're gonna look at it and then draw hearts all over it. I'm gonna be real. And they go, mwah. They're cute. I like them. I want to say they're also probably really pretty. I don't know. Because she's a baddie. And also... and they're having a great time. So... okay. So that you can be important to each other. Yeah. And like unconditional love, so you can experience and feel and know that unconditional love is real. Also, it's making me think of a pug, but like a really ugly pug. So I don't know if one of you has an ugly pug, or maybe you'll get one together or something. I don't know. Okay, let's do charms. So, what extra messages, signs or synchronicities do we have for group 3? Okay. What do you get up to in your free time together? What do you do? Just kidding. Not really. It's funny because even though they're cuffs, they say freedom. So I think that like there is a level of freedom that the two of you find by being like locked in with each other, by committing to one another. Like it's funny. It sounds counterintuitive, or I don't know if counterintuitive. Jumbo shrimp. What's that called? Like an oxymoron. But it's not. Yeah, there's also a ladybug. So, and a little bear. It makes me think of Brother Bear. So ladybugs are like little bear cubs. Also, children could be significant with this person. Like this could be someone that you have kids with, or like you raise a child with. Adopt. Like it could be someone else's kid that you know, but you take them in and give them a home and shelter and raise them. Because I'm thinking Jujutsu Kaisen reference. I can't go a video without making one. It's my favorite. It's making me think of Gojo and Megami. So, but I think you're also each other's like good luck charm. Yeah. And then we have some scales. So Libra energy has entered the chat. Law and Order SVU. Maybe you guys like that show or like watch it together. Maybe it's like a guilty pleasure of yours. I don't know if that counts as a guilty pleasure show. I think so. I've never seen it. Never seen it. Also, it's making me think of what's his name? Also Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm sorry. Higuruma Hiromi. He's a lawyer. He's also kind of fine. Also, I think balance and like equality and justice is really important to this person. That could be something that the two of you like bond over or have a lot of conversations about. Maybe they're Canadian or maybe you're Canadian. We also have Charmander. So Pokemon could be important. Pokemon Go. Or this could be, he's a starter Pokemon, right? Right, chat? I play Pokemon Go and that's it. So, I don't know, maybe you both just really like Charmander. Or Digimon. Maybe you have similarities in the way that you like play the game or something. We also have a little ducky. Duck Duck Goose. Duck Duck Goose could be significant. Because it's blue, it also makes me think of the throat chakra. And for some reason it makes me think of good luck. I don't know why. So maybe there's like a lot of good luck here when it comes to communication. We also have the Tree of Life. So I also do think that there is some level of feeling like soul family in some way, or feeling like there is just like a deeper spiritual connection between the two of you, which I think would make sense. We also have a little mermaid. She's so cute. I love her. And we have a ghost witch and a Pegasus. A lot of like mythical, magical being energy. Sorry. Here you go. Okay, kidding. And then here's the little Pegasus. Barbie. The movie where she has a Pegasus. Oh, which one is that? I don't know. Is it just Barbie and like the Pegasus or something? I don't know. Barbie movies could be important. My favorite, Fairytopia. The I'm just like you, you're just like me. Oh, I'm a fake fan. We're gonna move past that. I feel like the two of you might feel like there was some sort of like divine intervention to make each other like bob into each other's lives or like stumble into each other's lives. Or maybe you enjoy like spooky things together, like ghost stories or weird things or like supernatural phenomena, something like that. Or you believe like in all of those spooky things, like sirens are real and so are unicorns and all of these other things. They're just hiding in a secret forest from us. Maybe you really like Halloween too. Halloweeny. Yeah. Also, I think the two of you find each other to be insanely attractive. We got siren energy here, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's all I have for you, pile 3. So, thanks so much for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. I hope this resonated, and it was fun. Dude, you know like the hungry burps? That's what's happening. It's uncomfortable. Whatever. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this reading. Enjoy how I read. If you want to join the Bone Dead Club, we have fun here. We have a great time. It's a blast. You can also check out the Patreon if you want to join the Bone Dead Club ×2. There's exclusive pick a card readings there, tarot education content. I make tarot spreads every month, and then you can also get voting power for choosing the next videos I'm gonna do here and on Patreon, along with some other stuff that's really cool. You should check it out if you want to. It's really fun. You can also check out the tarot and oracle deck that I made. This is my oracle deck that I made. It's a Childlike Wonders Oracle. And then this is my tarot deck, the Bone Dead Tarot. She's cool. All that skeletons over here. Yeah, you can also check out some personal readings. Those will be linked down below as well. And you can follow me on social media on TikTok and Instagram at Bone Dead Tarot. So that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. I hope everything goes well and you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching.